Welcome back to Gray is Gorgeous. Today we're going to cut my hair. Let's do it. Oh my gosh, look at it. It's so long and it's out of control. I am not liking this at all. In fact, I was considering cutting it short. I was watching some of my older videos and I went, you know what, it was so cute, short. But we're not going to do that. I know. We're not going to do that right now, but we are going to trim it. We're going to do more than just a trim. I think we're going to take an inch off the bottom here and we're going to put layers into it. And yeah, we have to do something. This is like, it's pretty, but I don't care for it. It's getting kind of scraggly and I tried to curl it yesterday and it wouldn't really hold a curl because the layers are down to here. They start here, so way too long. So I'm going to cut the length off and I'm going to put a lot of layers in it. And I'm going to layer this baby up. All right. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to have to do is get it wet. So I will be right back. Wetness has been achieved. All right. All right. We're going to have some help from one of our YouTube family members. We're going to have the salon guy help us do this. I'm going to have him playing in the background in parts, and I'm going to use some of his suggestions. Of our clips, we have some of these little duckbill guys you get at Sally Beauty Supply. We have the ones that I got at the Dollar Tree, which I love, and they're great because they really hold on to the hair good. All right, we're clipped up. We have a comb. And we have our cricket logo crickets from Sally Beauty Supply. So, what else do we need? Oh, I have some water, spray water in case it starts to dry as we're doing this.
What I'm going to do is start at the back here and then work with both sides. And what I'm simply going to do is create my length.
Okay, so he's going to create his length. So what I'm going to do for me, just because I don't want to cut any of this front hair, is I'm going to separate my front hair right now because he's cutting the length in the back. And I'm going to use these claw clips because they're very strong and they're going to hold in tight and they won't loosen while I'm moving the rest of my hair around. All right. My sister's probably going to be watching this. All right, pro hairdresser, here we go. I'm channeling her right now. Okay. All right, so, we're going to cut the length, and I want some length off. Oh, yes, I do. I know, it's been looking pretty. If any of you there are queasy about haircuts and don't want to watch me cut the length off, like, oh my gosh, she's going to cut that length off. Click off now. Otherwise, let's continue. All right. So you got to be humorous about this. This is like, okay. So here we're going to go with the length. We're going to decide what length we want. Now, I'm thinking about an inch. I want to kind of get back to the length that I was when I got that haircut, which I loved it. She did such a great job. So I think I'm going to want to take about that much off. It's quite a bit. And one thing you want to remember when you're cutting your hair wet is it will shrink, okay? So that I must take into consideration that it's going to shrink. Let me come to the front, see how I prefer. I think I prefer it right there. I think I prefer it just like almost to my shoulder, but just not, you know, just grazing. All right, here we go. This may be too much, but I'm not afraid of it, so yeah, I'm just not afraid to cut my hair. All right, there we go. See, so we're taking a whole inch off or more. And then I'm just going to follow this line around and I'm going to try to keep my shoulders and body as straight as I possibly can. And keeping the scissors straight is also important. You want to keep those babies level. You don't want to shift them up or down. You want to make sure they're going straight across. And we're just going to cut that off. do it. Oh, that feels so good already. You know, when you have short hair for most of your life, it becomes like a, I don't know, it's just how it is, you know? It becomes just the way it is for you. And if you have long hair, I think the same thing. You know, if you're used to long hair and then you go short, and you're like, it's not really me, you know what I mean? So, all right, so we cut about this much off. That's about an inch. Yeah, you know, you just have to give yourself a cut that you feel it's you, you know? And I've heard people cut, I've known people with long hair have cut their hair short and just went, you know, it's just not for me. I think I'm going to, there. So we're just cutting the line across. And I don't know if I wanted kind of moon-shaped, like rounded or straight. I'm kind of doing a straight across look right now just to get the length off. So then I'm going to come to the front now, and I showed you this in another video. And I'm just going to split my hair in half here in the back. Just kind of separate it right here, go down the middle. Let's separate it into two sides here, just roughly. And that way I can, and what I'm doing when I'm doing this is I'm double checking, which is the second crucial part to a good haircut, is double checking your lines and your cuts. So I'm coming to the front and I'm making sure that these two sides look pretty level. And you want to watch my finger more than my hair. See, watch my finger where it lands on my neck and here. And that will, the finger will help you, as long as you keep your finger straight, will help you to, because if you're looking at the hairline only, it's kind of hard to determine. So I'm seeing that this side needs a little bit, so I grab it, and since I'm grabbing it firmly, I don't want it to shift in my hand. Again, just, it's pretty close, it's pretty even. It's pretty even Steven here. There's a little rough raggedy edges there. Just snipping those off. But it looks like I pretty much nailed it, which is surprising. Because normally it, now I have the ability to reach my arms. You see what my arm is doing here? Yeah, I don't know that everybody can do that. And that is not something that everyone can do. And this is, you know, why it's difficult for people to cut their own hair. So, and you saw how I reached my hand around. Okay, so that is good enough for me. I feel like this side is longer, and I could be right, but I could be wrong. All right, so now then when you've done everything you can, all right, we're not quite to the front yet, but okay. All right, so that's it. So that's, now we have our length. Now, let's see what he wants us to do now. So we have our length cut. I hope I didn't move the video here. Okay, here. All right, so.
I'm not going to go a lot shorter on this mannequin head, but I'm going to bring it up about maybe 3/4 of an inch just to clean it up. And I'm going to work around the back and then both sides, and then we'll establish our length. As you can see, what I did is I held the hair in the comb. I didn't use my hands at all. What
not going to be able to do that.
See, which is grab the hair and hold it in your hand like so. I didn't do that. I just went with no tension, comb it straight down, and then cut from the guide that the comb itself created. I've used my hands. I didn't use any tension. That's a great way to cut a pretty good straight line. Now what we're going to do is going to create the length and the front of where I want the layers and the angling to start.
All right.
So what I'm going to do is determine where that's going to be, which I'd say about right here.
Okay, he's determining the layers in the front. See that? So that's what we're going to do. So he did the back. Okay, now I've never done it this way. I have done it other ways. I have done just to the top. So these sides now, these sides I should probably cut because they're not matching the back at all. So let's make those match first. So this is where I say I'm not following all of his directions because these sides do have to be cut to match the back. So see how this back, this is my line. See the back hair here? This is an important cutting step. This part is the short part that I just cut. This is the front. So you go move your hand down, your fingers down, and that's where you want to cut. So you want to match it. But you know what I'm going to do, just because I like the front to be slightly longer, is I'm going to tip my fingers down here at an angle like this, and I'm going to just bring it down a little bit further. Okay, so the line goes this way. And that's just, I prefer it that way. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. We're matching the back to the front, and we're going to drop an angle in there. Okay. And then I'm going to take these two and I'm going to make sure that they're the same. So pull them in here, see how they come to your neck. They should come to the same part on your neck as the other part. All right, good. So now we're going to do the step he said. You're going to take this top part right behind your bang here. We're not going to worry about the bangs. The bangs are already short, so they're all right. And now I'm going to cut my line. Now there's two ways that I can do this. I can cut my line starting back here, and the line, what the line means that's how long your layers are going to be. Where you make that cut is how long your layers are going to be, and you're going to put that down, and that's going to help you follow. You're going to follow that line. So he wanted me to make a front line and a back line, which is interesting, and I've never done that before. So let's do that. So how long do I want my layers? This is what he's saying right in here. How long do you want your layers? Now I have my bangs here, and we're not going to do anything with those. So what I would do at this stage, and he didn't tell me to do this, but I know this, is to hold up your hair like this. See this? See how long this layer is? Look at that. Those layers are so long. They come down to about here, my chin. I don't want them that long. I want shorter layers. I want my layers to kind of start right here at my cheekbone. So you're going to pull these forward, like he said, down here, and you're going to select where you want your layers. So I kind of want mine to start here. And I actually don't feel good about this. I don't feel good about this part. I have not done it like this before. I'm going to go down a little further. I'm not going to start so high. And I'm going to take the center. I'm not liking this. I like cutting at the back first. Like back here. And using that as my line. I don't know why he's having a Let's do that. All right, let me think about this for a second. I'll be right back. Okay, I figured it out. So instead of bringing your hair all front like this and just going whack, don't do that. He has split, I watched the video a little further. He has split this into two, and he's using this as his angular line. So where the layer starts, I want it to start here. So I'm going to put my fingers up at an angle like that, and that's going to be how I create the front line. So I want it right there, so that's what I'm going to do. A little bit more at an angle, and then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to cut this all off here. There. So that's my front line. Now I'm going to come over just this section that we pulled forward, not any of this, not the body of the hair here. We're just, this is the face framing part. You're deciding on where your layers are going to fall around your face here. So my layer's going to start here on my cheek. This side is harder to do, so I'm going to let it drop instead of holding it. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. See how I cut up there? Because I can't hold it right without having my arm or my finger in the way like this. So in that case, you can pull it down, let it rest on your face like that, and just go in with your scissors and cut up like that. Okay, so now you can see where this layer is going to start here. There. Okay. Don't quite have that angle right. There. Okay, that's better. Oh, okay. Did I cut it too far? Okay, well. Here's the good news. Your hair grows back. I'm going to go in deeper. I want to go deeper in here. There. Okay. So see, those are my layers. They're going to start right here at my cheek. All right, so good. So we did that part. Now let's see what else he wants us to do here.
I'm going to repeat that on this side, and then we'll have our
right. I repeated it on this side.
Outline finished. As you can see, here is our outline throughout the front and the sides. And again, what I did is combed everything.
So I kind of have it like that.
Forward, like so, and brought it all down to blend in with the sides and even throughout some of the back here. Not too much, but you're not going to really be able to cut too much from the back.
Okay, so I'm blending this in with the sides.
In the front here, what you could do is you can chip into it like this. Alright, just using the thumb. And what that does is it kind of softens the front line here. It makes it just a little bit edgier and just softens it up.
Okay, so he's talking about point cutting. He's point cutting. That's when you chip into the hair and a little bit on the edges here. That's when you go in like this and you kind of go like this. You hold your scissors and you choppy, choppy, choppy. That's called point cutting. And he's point cutting, and what that does is it takes the weight out of this area, and I don't really like to point cut at this point because my hair is wet. I'd like to point cut when my hair is dry so I know exactly what I'm doing. That's just a preference of mine. I don't like to point cut when I'm wet. All right, so here we go.
So it's not such a harsh line in the front. So you can do that. You know, you can also do that while you're layering it.
Yeah, while you're layering it.
So come around this side here. Basically, do the same thing on this side here.
All right, so he does it on both sides.
Just chip into the length, just to soften the line up a little bit.
We're getting ready to
and
go
just to make sure that we're pretty balanced. Now, again, what you can do to check this is simply just bring everything, grab 2 points the same side, bring it together, and check your balance. Also, what you could do is take the wide teeth, which I do sometimes, and comb everything that you can in sections to one point, like so, to see where you're at as far as the balance goes. And as you can see, we're pretty good. And if there's anything that's off, you just simply cut it on that side, and you'll see how it balances everything out and it kind of evens out. So again, just kind of take everything in one spot.
All right, so we're waiting for him to move to the back. I'll be right back. All right, so now we're going to layer the back, and we're doing the same thing. We're putting a line in back here.
Straight up.
We're going to bring this part straight up.
And then that is going to determine the layering.
Right.
And the length of where. Now remember, wherever you cut this, if I cut this here,
this is the back part.
that means these layers are going to fall here. You have to create something between down here and down here to blend it together. So always keep that in mind. Wherever you cut this first section is where it's going to fall, and then that's where you have to create.
That's correct. So if I turn my head around, and this is how long my hair is. If I want the layer to fall right here, right out the occipital bone, then I'm going to be taking that much off, and that's going to match the front, because see, this layer here comes down to here, so you want that to be, so I'm not going to be taking too much off of this back. And I'm just going to go straight across the top here. Whoa. Okay. Make sure I have that right. Double check. This side layer is here. But the shortest layer starts here. Okay. Right here is where I want it. I want it to start there at my occipital bone, that bone right there underneath where your skull ends here. Okay, so I need to take off that much right there. All right, so I'm going to stand back for this. You can see me cut this off. So I'm taking about 2 inches off right there, and we're cutting that off. Just going straight across, and that's going to be our line for the rest of the hair. Wow, I can't believe how long my hair grew. What? Crazy. All right, so there, that's my line now. Now I know where those layers, so I'm going to have long layers in the back basically. You just want to cut that nice and straight across right there. That's it. Just like that. Boom. All right. Here we go.
Create the layering and the shaping.
Okay.
So always keep that in mind when you cut your first section. So this is where I'm going to cut mine right here.
Okay. Stand back so you can see what you do. Okay, that's where he's cutting his. This is actually a lot shorter.
Because you can see that there it falls down. And
I'm going to go shorter. Going shorter.
There's where you have it. The next section, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go probably another inch or so below that. Comb this straight up, like so.
Okay, so he's taking an inch or
what's
so
gonna happen
below,
is
so we're going
You're going to see your guide underneath,
back here.
and then that is what you cut off.
Okay, right. All right, so there's my guide.
Repeat that
See my
on the other
guide?
side here.
See what's in here? All this excess on top, that's getting cut off. So that's my guide. So I'm coming up to the top.
Comb this out of the way. Comb it straight up.
And cut it
Again,
off.
you will see your guide right there.
I see it. Double checking.
And there you have it. Now, comb it all down. And as you can see, it's starting to actually, let me just lower this a little bit here, there. What's happening is, it's starting to now create a layer into here.
There.
But
So there's my
fortunately,
layer.
we're not getting any harsh lines. So from this point on, I don't want to bring this up any higher from here, because what happens is it really removes a lot of weight if you bring it too much hair up. So what we're going to do is actually, and you're going to be able to see this.
He's
What's
taking.
going to happen is you're going to be able to connect these two.
He's connecting.
You're going to see where your last layer is,
back.
and then you're going to see where the bottom section.
See, he's connecting the back, so he's going vertical, not horizontal.
There shouldn't be too much to cut off.
And he's not going
and then
too
that's
low.
pretty much it. So just so you guys can see in a different.
All right, so let's do that. So we're going to grab this hair back here where we were, and we're going to connect this top part with the bottom, but we're not going too low. And then we're going to grab this like this. And you can see where the line is. See where that line is? The shortest part? That's where we're going. We're going to connect those together. And I'm going to pull it out here. And you don't want to go too low into the base of the hair, which is this section down here. You don't want to cut into this because it will take too much off.
Angle is here is where, up here is where the layer starts from where I brought it all straight up.
Yep.
And you're going to see this down here is where you need to connect everything. So all you're really doing is just blending the top in through the bottom layer, and you'll be able to see. Remember, this is your length down here. You don't want to cut too much down into this.
Right, you don't want to cut into that bottom
everything
part.
Everything is going to blend into itself.
All right, so I did this
by doing
side.
This sort of technique. Remember, don't bring too much hair straight up from
now
the,
I need to do the other side.
Will leave it very, very thin on the bottom. And you see the length is down here.
How short
so
this
I'm not
hair
touching
is.
that. So I'm just going to continue this throughout the whole back, connecting everything.
I got to make the other side look like that.
And then we're going to work on the top. Now when you get in through the
So I'm going to take this other side. I'm going to pin this side that I just did up here. And I'm going to connect this other side. And I'm going to take it out like this without going into, without dropping into that lower section. And I'm going to connect these. See my line here? Here's my line that I cut on top, and this is what has to come off. So quite a bit. Quite a bit. I'm going to bring it out like that, and I'm going to take all of that hair off. All right. So now I've got these both sides done back here, these quarters, and I'm going to bring these two quarters together, and I'm going to double check them together by bringing them together and coming out like this. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of hair that has to come off there, so let's cut it off. And then I'm going to bring it back around to this side and double check it. And you see there's more hair that has to come off there. So I'm going from side to side, and this is only because I am self-cutting. I'm cutting my own hair, so I have to check it from one angle, from both sides. I have to pull it from this side and then reposition it over here and then pull it back in this direction, and I have to check it in both directions because I'm cutting my own hair. So if I was standing behind myself, I could pull this side separately and that side separately, but because I'm not, I gotta check it a different way, and that's what I'm doing. All right, and there are mistakes, there are not mistakes, but there are things that need to be trimmed up here. So I checked it on both sides. Now, as you can see, my hair is starting to get curly now, and that's because the layers are going in and it's got something to grab onto, which is what I wanted. So now I'm just going to finish this up, and I'm going to have to pause because it's quite a bit of work, ladies. we'll see what we got here. I'll show you what I have. See, these layers are real short. They come down and they start here on my occipital bone. And so I've got all those layers in, and see how you can see how it starts to have more movement back here. So I'm going to go through, and you don't want to cut any of this under. See all that under, this under hair here, right here? You don't want to cut any layers into there. That is your weight. If you go too far down, you're going to lose it. So you don't want to do that. You want to blend it, but you don't want to go into there. Almost like you're cutting just the top part of your hair here. So I'll be right back. Let me, the spaces between back here and back here. So you want to over direct. What over directing is when you take a layer and you pull it to the back like this and you cut it back here. Instead of pulling it to the side here, you're going to pull it to the back. So you're going to over direct it. And I like the over directing. And the reason I like to do that is because it makes the layers flowy. When you're styling your hair and you straighten it, it makes them very flowy when you have an over directed cut. It makes them go to and fro, and it makes them flow to the back like that. So I take this hair on the side and I pull it back, and I am following that line still. There's not much to take off there right now. I'm going through here and I'm double checking. Double checking. There's still a little bit here to trim, not much, but I want to pull this back, so I'm taking vertical up and down sections and I'm pulling them to the back. That's the over directing part, and I'm finding that line, see the line, and all that needs to come off, and then I'm cutting into that line, but I'm not doing anything down here, just on top or just on the side here to a certain point. Okay, and then I'm just working away around my hair. I'm going section, 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 and I'm working around. I'm not touching anything on the bottom because I want the weight, and I'm over directing it to the back and trimming it off to that line that we originally created when I lifted my hair up. See, this matches this, because this is the starting point. And I'm just duplicating that all the way back. And this is the difficulty level of cutting your own hair. So see, I need to do all of this myself. And I'm going to over direct it to the back here. And see, there's only a little bit that needs to come off there. I'm checking my line. I'm making sure that that original cut that I did up here, boom, is matching all the way around. And the way I do that is I take it in sections. Now you see this haircut already forming. Do you see what's happening with my hair? Do you see how bouncy and curly it is? Those are the layers. So that's what happened when you put layers in your hair. Hopefully not in your mouth. Is you start, see how this haircut is forming now? It's taking shape. All right, so I'm just gonna keep working this baby all the way back. And my hair is starting to dry out, so I'm just gonna add some more water. You have your line, so as long as you follow the line, you're good. If you make new lines, then that's not good. So you're following that same cut you did, that way your hair is even all the way around. Does that make any sense? You have to really follow the line of where we started that cut. So my hair is pretty short now, and it's going to shorten up as I style it, but that's all right. That's what I wanted. Can't be afraid of these things if you or cutting your own hair. Just have to go for it. You know, it will grow out. Worst case scenario, you wear a baseball cap for a little while and you're good to go. Or you don't like it and you just cut it short. Okay, so I'm following my line all the way around, and I'm just making sure that I got everything so that the top matches with the bottom, not the bottom, but the sides, so that everything matches up, nothing is uneven. And that takes some time. You just have to work your way around the hair. All right, so I'm going to keep doing this and I'll be right back. Okay, so he says my hair was going to speak to me. I'm listening. All right, so, whoa, look at all the layers I put in. Oh my goodness, you guys, it is so short. I just put in layers. I went to town. Look at all the layers in there. So, don't know what this is going to look like when I get done styling it, but I will style it for you and I will have to show you the finished result. I'm probably going to have to do some editing on this video. All right, look at all my curls. See what happens when my hair gets lighter? It gets curlier. So wow, look at how much we took off, quite a bit. So I'm going to, oh, you should see all the hair here. We took off quite a bit. All right, so I am going to jump in the shower and give my hair a good wash, and we're going to see what I did. We're going to see if it's good or if it's not, if we like it or if it's not good. Worst case scenario, when all the stay in place is lifted and get back to a salon and have her trim it up or not, or just grow it out again. All right, so I will be back in a minute. All right, so I just got out of the shower. Here it is wet. It's pretty short. So, wow. I cut my hair today. Wow, it's a lot shorter. It was way down to here and it has way layers in it. So I'm gonna blow dry this and I shall be right back. So this is right after the blow dry. You can see the nice layers that I have here and see how they go like this. That's because I over directed the hair when I cut it and I pulled it back this way and cut it. And so you have that over direction. It just kind of makes the layers sit better. And now we're going to go in with our Conair Pro Infinity and we're just going to straighten it out and see what we got. It's really hard to cut your hair wet. You don't know really what it's going to look like. All you can do is follow the directions of whoever you're following and hopefully see that. Look at that nice wave right there. Love it. All you can do is do what you can and then see what it looks like when I have the natural wave here. I like to always pull that out. So I have naturally wavy hair and it seems to be more so when I have layers in it. But look at that. Ooh, look at the layering. Let's curl it. Ooh. All right, this is it. This is what we ended up with. I will take you for a quick tour. Not bad. So if you'd like to give this a whirl at home, I will link the video that I used down below in my description box. And if you want more videos like this, please click subscribe if you haven't already. Click like if you like the content of this video, and we will catch you next time. Thank you so much for watching as always. Bye for now.